What is up, guys, gals, you awesome means and gamers, different shapes and sizes. It is me, Josh, Proxy, bringing you some Gwent, the Witcher card game today on the PlayStation 4 Pro, playing as the Eredin starter deck, which is really badass, really exciting, because I didn't think I would really enjoy playing as a villain. And it's really, really cool that you have these... If you're really into the Witcher series, you have all these recognizable characters, and it could be as just a card, like as you can see, I've got Geralt as the special gold card here, or just like different villains or other side characters as like decks and like just little add-on features to the game itself. It's just really cool. It's a nod to everything, and because it's been made by CD Projekt Red, the people behind The Witcher, you just know there's a lot of love put into it. So especially with the card artwork, it's just really beautiful, and especially since as well they're actually doing things like animated cards as well. This is something that they're going to slowly add in over time, because a lot of the cards are actually quite 2D, but some of them actually do have animated features, and just knowing that they're actually going that distance to make a really cool card game means so much to me, because I love card games. I love Magic the Gathering, I used to love Yu-Gi-Oh when I was a kid, even Pokemon. I was one of like the first kids on the block to buy Pokemon cards. I remember going to the store and, you know, spending like £2 on a shiny and stuff. It was crazy. But now it's this kind of like era of digital card games, this thing where now you can actually just play them online. You can play them on your consoles, your PCs, and you can do that with Gwent. And Gwent was such an amazingly addictive card game on the Witcher 3. It was so bad, and especially compared to say like Final Fantasy card games as well. There are so many, but let's focus on Gwent itself. Don't forget as well that you can actually check out a PSVR cinematic mode video that we did of Gwent as well to see what it looks like on virtual reality. But we are playing as Eredin. Now Eredin is obviously the... Would you say the villain of The Witcher 3? I'd pretty much say the villain of The Witcher 3. I don't want to spoil anything or anything like that, but we are pretty much using a ice deck. This is one of the main things when it comes to this character, is that his monster deck, is pretty much a monster deck as well, uses a lot of ice-based things. You're going to see a lot of ice-based characters. You actually have the Biting Frost card here as well, which actually ends up turning a lane on the enemy side into frozen territory, and this actually kills enemies over time as well. So it's kind of like a poison effect in a sense, where basically what it'll end up doing is it'll take 1 health, the little like power points on the top left of each card there, which is pretty much the health, also kind of like the defensive attack and stuff like that, but it's this thing where it kind of like poisons them and like takes 1 bit over time. So it's one of these things where if you put that on a lane at the start of a round, it means that you can pretty much kind of like whittle down a full lane of enemy characters, especially if they are, say, on the melee lane or on the range lane, or even say like the support artillery lane. It's this really badass thing where you can actually kind of like dominate a lane using the Eredin starter deck, or just the monster deck in general, to have a really good kind of like up against the enemy, because you will find that all of these different decks have very special qualities about them, but the monster deck, Eredin's, is just, I just really like it. I think it's really, really badass. Now, when I say Eredin, this doesn't mean that it's Eredin himself who is just a deck. This is actually the hero character you play. This is something to always remember, is that when it comes to playing The Witcher, is that you can actually have different like hero cards and such. And so within this deck here, I'm actually using a very unique hero card, which is Eredin. Now, Eredin has this very special ability compared to, say, other heroes. Like, say, you might have one that can actually buff all cards in your deck and hand, which you might want to use at the start of a match, or at another part in a round where you actually end up getting some really good cards or something. But Eredin actually has the special ability to bring in a free card while also deploying his. So you may notice on the bottom left of the screen here, we have this little gold card of Eredin just by himself next to the number 6 of the cards that I've actually ended up having left in my hand. But he has a 5 meter on his gold status. Now that means that he's a pretty much average card. He can only do like, say, 5 defensive health, but he also has that ability to bring in a bronze monster as well, which is very useful. So it means that, say, even though it says I have 5 cards in my hand, I can actually deploy the Eredin card and get an extra card deployed into the melee lane, or say the range lane, or the support lane. So it's this really useful thing, especially if you have a really good deck as well of bronze cards. So always remember that that's a really cool thing about Eredin, is that his special ability is he will give you a free card, a free bronze card. And as you can see with the cards I have some 7s there. So if you actually had a really good deck of all 7s, 8s, 10s, whatever you want, you've got some serious potential there. And I'd love to know your thoughts in the comment section below, what you think to the Eredin card, especially within this Eredin deck. And again, it's not just an Eredin deck, it's a monster deck, and the special thing about that is that there are different types of decks. You have the monster deck, which is obviously focused on more of the NPC monsters of the Witcher series, while, say, if you're going to use like the scoia'tael, it'll be using things like the elven kind of stuff, or if you're going to be using like, say, the more Royal Guard kind of things, you're going to actually have that more human-based set of decks and such. It's just really cool that, again, everything is acknowledged within the Witcher universe in the Gwent card game. And it's just really, really fun. And you may notice as well that the matches are really quick. Like, it's not, say, like Hearthstone. Like, Hearthstone was a really fun game. The only issue with Hearthstone was that a lot of it was to do with buying card packs, which was kind of annoying. And I know, come on, we can all admit to that. But the really badass thing about Gwent is that you actually earn cards over time in a really fast way. It's not about kind of like leveling up. It's about playing matches and you end up gaining kind of like ore and scrap and such. And then you can buy those kegs. The kegs are the card packs. And then and this is the badass thing as well. Not only do you get, say, like 4 cards, you get a free extra card. You get to pick what that card is. And so it's just so cool. I will show this to you in the future, but it's just really nice knowing that this is a card game or a free-to-play game that really respects the customer as well, respects the player, the user, and doesn't make it feel like it's pay to win. Like, I've just been playing with the starter deck, and I've actually ended up making my own deck, but even with the starter decks, you can actually have a really good chance of winning against a really higher tier deck. And I have actually fought against players who have really amazing decks. So like with this one, this was kind of like a clash of monsters in a way, you know? We're both using the Eredin starter deck. He actually has some very unique ones himself. He has like a dragon in there. I have no freaking dragon in my own deck or anything like that. So this guy's been playing a little bit. And it's just cool knowing that, you know, that I can actually play with a starter deck, which I've customized a little bit myself, but you know, and by using those starter cards, by not even leveling that much, you can have such an epic experience, and also, those starter cards have some really good, unique benefits. So, like with this one, this guy is actually potentially about to win here, but we must be able to somehow turn this around. I mean, I don't want him to win around. I want to try and, like, completely steamroll this guy. He's got some really cool stuff going on here. So what we're actually going to do is give up the round. This is something that's been very unique when it comes to Gwent itself, is that sometimes it's always best to pass in a round of a match, which means that they end up losing all the cards that they placed on the like board there, but now you only have what's left in your hand. So we both have like a card, or we both have 2 cards each. Look, so I've got these 2 cards here. I can actually choose to redraw one and maybe get a different one, but they're pretty much like 6 and 6 for health is pretty good, so I'm not actually going to redraw anything here. This is pretty much a showdown now. So he's got those 2 cards, I've got my 2 cards. Who is going to win? He's dropping down a 6. Remember, I've got 2 6s too, so I'm going to drop down my own 6 anywhere I want. And now it's the final card. Will he win this? He's actually got the destroy all higher enemy cards and allied cards too. And finally, I have my own card left there as well to gain the victory. Whew, that was a close one. Comment section below though, let me know what did you think to this match and what do you think to Gwent, the Witcher card game. I will be bringing you more of this game in the future because having a really good time playing it. And so again, would love to know all of your opinions. Remember to drop a like if you enjoyed this video and want to subscribe for more Gwent content in the future. But I will see you all next time. Ciao for now.